But, dude, today we got a wild one for everybody. Wild. We've been learning. We've been learning our customer base. And we've been learning tons. And we want to tell you what the customers are learning because we desire so heavily to really, we really want to serve our customers and educate them. So that's what we're going to do. Okay? All right. We've been taking lots of calls. We take lots of calls from people. And guess what we've been finding out on those calls? People are very quickly, heavily educating themselves. And they're
Oh
heavily
yeah.
educating themselves in this way right here. They come onto our they come onto a call and they go, "Great, I want this service. I want it to sound good." Right? And we go, "Okay, cool. AI, an AI caller, AI caller." And we say, "Okay, cool. What's your experience with AI?" And they go, "I've heard some really crappy ones, and I've heard some really good ones."
Like good.
And we go, "Okay, great, great, great. What did the crappy ones sound like?" And they're like, "I don't know. It just sounded robotic." and we go,
Oh yeah.
and we go, "Okay, great. Which company was that?" They're like, "I don't know. I was listening to like 10 of them. They were all trash." And I was like, "Okay, great, great, great. So what are you talking to me for?" And they go, "Well, yours sounded really good." I'm like, "Oh yeah, it did. It sounded so good." And they're like, "I want it human like." And we're like, "Okay, cool, cool. What are you trying to do with your human like?" And they go, "Well, I just want to sound like a human to help me set more appointments." And we go, "All right, man. Um, do you want to try and fake them out? Are you trying to fake them out to see like, hey, this is a real human, or like, what's your goal there?" And they go, "Yeah, I wanted to sound human, and I want to set more appointments." That's as far as they get. Am I right, Chris?
Yep.
That's
Well
it.
yeah, and then some of them have actually. We've heard that they've got these companies that say they can do what they promise, like they can, call all these companies, 10, 100 at a time. And one thing we've heard is, yeah, when I call it one on one, it sounds great. And then they go through their recordings on the simultaneous ones and it's garbage.
It's garbage, but
Yeah. They break
that's a
up,
real
they
thing.
glitch. Yeah. And it all depends on kind of what you're using. A lot of people, they're like, the number one thing is price objection, and YouTube companies looking for AI. I'm going to tell you, $500 is not going to get you quality AI that's going to call 100 people. I'm telling you that's just not going to happen.
Those are the
Um,
robotic ones you've been hearing. Hello,
yeah.
how are you today?
Um, and even if they're semi decent talking like a human, they will have a thing. How are you? Oh, I'm doing
What?
great.
What?
Great to
You
hear.
still there?
Like, yeah, like, okay, are you gonna still talk to me? Like, attention to detail, and this is for AI companies out there too. Um, plugging in a company's name and picking a name of a caller and picking a voice and then turning it on. Yeah, that'll make phone calls, but they're not gonna be good.
Yeah.
Taking time to actually really perfect the prompts and the settings and testing and tweaking settings minimally a lot. Play with those little sliders, go crazy with it. That's fun to do, but you're gonna find that sweet spot where it's like, okay, someone picks up this phone, they are not going to have any idea. They're going to get the job done. It's going to accomplish what it is. The person's going to say, "Yeah, no, I like this. Can you call me back? Send me something." And they're not even going to none the wiser. You know what I'm saying?
But I would tell you this: we're seeing a big shift in mindset. Because Chris is right. We're seeing people want the product like more than ever. People are wanting this product, right? They see that it's been around for a year and they want the product. This is what we're finding people want about the product, right? And this is true. This is true everywhere. Um, they're looking for how it can help their business. That's what they're actually looking for. So they want it to sound human. They want it to help their business. But this is the most interesting part to me right here. They are seeing how it is setting more appointments. They are seeing how it is calling and how its outreach is really doing good. It's really helping businesses make more revenue. It's a real thing. It actually is doing it. They are seeing that humans are hard to come by, and they're seeing that humans, it's very difficult to train and teach and keep appointment setters. And they don't actually want to do that. That's not what they want to do. They want to close. And they're seeing that they just want sales calls, right? And they're seeing that they just want that AI can actually fill the void. This is a good thing, right, Chris? It's happening. People
Yeah,
are seeing
definitely,
that it can help them.
definitely, and people in the AI industries are even looking for appointment setters.
Yeah, it's
you,
funny.
you know, that's kind of funny to me. You should use your own product, I would say, definitely, and still have your human touch. Like, for instance, we have ours, where if you come in through ours, you get on our ad. We give ourselves time to call them personally, but we're getting more and more customers. We're in more and more meetings, and like we said in a previous live, go back and watch it down below wherever you're looking. Go back and watch that one where we're talking about speed to lead. We don't let it go past 4 minutes and 30 seconds. They're
Never,
getting a call. Whether
never.
they answer or not, that's on them, but they will be getting a call. And then they'll get another one, and they'll get another one, because we discussed that on that last
Yeah.
live we did.
But I think it's interesting. People are looking for help. This is the coolest part. People are looking for help. They know AI can help because I don't want to say they don't want to deal with people, but they've dealt with people for so long that it's like, dude, it's just a turn and burn. It's a turn and burn like position. And so they don't want to have that. They want to stop focusing on hiring and Indeed ads and stuff like this. People are finally presenting and bringing out and admitting their pain points because they see the AI actually working, which is awesome, right?
Totally. And and still the price thing, it's crazy to me, because even if something's 4,000, 5,000, 6,000, even upwards of 10,000, that's still half. Even if you paid a setter minimum wage or commissions, depending on your cost, you're going to pay way more than 10,000 in commissions. You may pay that in 1 month to a setter each month. How that's $120,000.
But at the,
But to
but at the
to
same
get
time,
in,
most people are okay with paying commissions. To be quite honest, most people are. What they're not okay doing is staying on top of their setters, complaining about their setters. Why can't my setters make more calls? Why can't my setter do this? Why are you taking a day off? That's what we're hearing. They don't want to deal
that's
with
the
that
problem.
garbage. Yeah,
And that's the
yeah.
solution. This thing never rests, it never sleeps, and it runs itself. You wake up in the morning, wow, I have more appointments. I have more appointments. Wow, look at that. I have more appointments. People actually talk to this thing.
Yeah.
And then you go in and listen to recordings and you hear some crazy conversation.
Yeah. You do. People say some crazy stuff. But it's just awesome. I just love how businesses are coming around to being like, yes, this actually can solve my problem. There's finally enough information out there. There's enough case studies out there and things like that. To it's like,
Hmm.
yes, this actually does work. Will it work in my industry? Yeah, it works. Do you call people? Do you talk to people? Yeah, it'll work in your industry, right? That's what we're seeing, and that's what actually excites me. So the more people I talk to, the more people are just like they're ready for a product. Now they got to make sure it's the right product, but they're ready for the product.
Yeah, they're ready.
So
And if you're on this thing, you're on social media, and you've seen the advertisements. There's more and more and more companies coming out every day. So you got to weed through the quality, and really, it's the service that you're going to get, and the most important is the solution. How is what we do? What is that going to change for you in your life? What is that going to change for your business? Is it going to be time? Is it going to be more money, savings? Think about that, not what it costs. And oh my God, is it going to work? If it doesn't work, cut it off. Go find another company that
yeah,
that will do
exactly,
that
exactly.
will solve your problem and give you the solution that you're looking for.
Yeah, it's like buying a radio. You buy a radio and it sounds like garbage. You go buy a new radio. Chris loves music. Chris loves listening. That's why you
Well,
use that
yeah,
one.
like when I go buy a stereo, do I want cheap, or do I want my ears not to sound like I'm listening to the nails
That's
on a
right.
chalkboard?
That's right.
And the cheap one will work. It'll play the music, but that's not giving me my desired effect.
Yeah, exactly. That's the right way to say it. Giving you the desired effect. Okay. The other thing that's really cool is people know this can help, right? So what I've been seeing is a huge shift in preparedness and the customers actually are the people we talk to, right? Like people that potential clients are much more heavily prepared coming into conversations like this. So they've tried a few things that were garbage, right, per se. They've tried to do it themselves, right, and we just can't figure it out. Too much time. Um, they have listened to a whole bunch of different ones. So there's a lot of people are coming way more educated. People didn't even know to use the word make. Right? If you guys know what make or anything is, people didn't even know what make was. A lot of people we talk to are starting to understand. I watched the video and saw make. You can get it for free. I tried to build my own little thing. Right? People are coming more educated, which is fun, super fun for us, because then we know you've tried it and it actually is a little bit hard to learn. Like
Well,
it
yeah, and
actually
then they
is a
can see the
service to it.
value when you make
Yeah,
it work.
exactly, exactly. And then when we make it work, then it's good to go. So it's fun to see this customer shift. When we first started talking to people, they were just like, "What's AI? Like, what is this thing?" And now people are coming to us and going, "I've tried it. Are you the right company to solve my problem?" Right? Like it's a completely different conversation we're having with
Oh
people,
yeah,
which is way cool.
it's gone from fear to
Yeah,
desire and need and want,
yeah, exactly. And it's
which
there.
is a
And now
very good transition. It's good for us. It's
it's
good
a
for
great
other
transition.
AI companies,
Yep,
and we're still at the forefront because it still improves every day. Every day, it just
literally
gets
every day.
better
Yeah.
and better, and for lack of better words, smarter and smarter.
Yeah. And
um,
so that's where one thing that we are concerned about and we want to make sure that the next wave of people have the correct address about, right? Because we don't want to ruin this industry with a whole bunch of garbage and a whole bunch of scammer type people who claim to be half good workflow builders, right? We don't want the industry to turn into this. People are a little bit skeptical already of like the AI is going to do its own thing, which it doesn't do its own thing. It does what you tell it to do. But we don't want them to be skeptical of companies. We can't have them skeptical of companies. So be very careful with who you're going with. Okay. And the whole point of this is like, first, you want a good product, but even better, to be 100% honest, even better than a good product, you have to have good implementation. And that's the key. Putting that implementation in the proper area. That's number one. And so if a company has no idea how to talk to you about implementation, be very wary of that. Okay?
yeah,
That's what we're saying.
exactly. And yeah, oh yeah, for $500 we can get you an outbound caller, and we'll call your 20,000 leads, and it'll send an email and an SMS, and I would bet that same $500 that they can't do it.
Or that you're not going to enjoy it, right?
Yeah, it's gonna be
But
not fun for you.
the other
Um,
the other thing about the implementation is understanding your customer, right? Because ultimately you're serving your customer. Ultimately you want to serve your customer for more revenue for your business. Right? And so if somebody says for you, right, Chris, you own a HVAC business or a solar business. If somebody says, "Yeah, I can build automated text messages. What do you want it to say?" And they go, "Thought you could help me with that." There's two different conversations there. You got to be really careful having those two different conversations because I
mhm.
can send you a text message that's just flat garbage, right?
Well, yeah,
So that's another thing you got to know about these companies that they actually know what your customer wants and can communicate that through the automation.
and
So,
I think that comes from having an understanding of sales and customer service,
yes.
which I think a lot of customer experience. I think a lot of businesses, AI, I don't care what the business is. A lot of businesses think of all these other things. I want this place to look really pretty and nice. I want this. I want that, and that's part of customer service. But that personal interaction and how you communicate to people is the major part of customer experience. When you go walking down the street, it's similar. Like to someone, you say hello and they're like,
Yeah.
or you know, you just snap at them. You're not going to have a great experience, customer experience. It's
Yep.
knowing how to talk to people, not come off salesy. Come off like you really care and you want to provide a solution for these companies to make them more efficient and more profitable.
Yeah. And that's very, like I said, you have to be careful when looking at these AI companies, which way to go. Okay? Because people can build automations, but can they build the automation properly, right? So and there are people that can build the automations, but can they also serve your customer properly? Do they understand what it's like to sit at the table with them? Do they understand what your closers are doing? Do they understand what it looks like to your customer, right? All of that should be included when you're interrogating an AI company to go with, right? And that's what customers are almost there, right? Like potential clients, I should say, are almost there. What's up?
That's almost exactly what it feels like.
Yeah, exactly.
On these sales calls, it's like, what did you steal?
Yeah. Yeah. But anyways, we really want to tell people like this is great. This is great news. People are coming more educated, and you should be. You should be way more educated. But then once again, be very careful, right? Be mindful of the company you're going with. Can knows the difference between proper what an AI system does, and that's cool. They can talk the back end of it, and they can build the workflows. Awesome. You need somebody who can do that. You need somebody that can properly implement it into your business, revenue generating implementation. Okay, be very careful of that. And then the last thing is they have to know your customer, and they have to know what it's like going to be like to present, you to their customer through automation. And so having a company that can really understand that is what you're looking for. Huge. You're
Yeah,
not looking
you
to
want
send a
to.
text message. You're looking to generate revenue,
Yeah,
right? And so have that in your mind. So
and yeah, so when you come into these companies, oh, can it send tests? Can it do that? It can do all of that.
yeah, totally.
What is the solution that you're wanting?
Yes, sir.
Is really the problem, and we can talk back end and oh, we can do this, we could put it in the workflow all day long. What is the need and what is the want? What's your pain point? Where is the leak in your sales pipeline?
And that's
Because we've talked
exactly
about
what they
that
need to
before
know.
in some of these lives down here, wherever they are.
Yep.
We definitely have covered those things, the leaks in the pipeline, like, and it's not just not calling on time. It's not understanding who it is that's calling your company.
Perfect. So if you guys do want to know more, whether it's from us, whether it's from whoever, right? aidmedianow.com. You can book us, find us on Instagram, send us a DM, okay? And ask us questions. We'll totally help you as you're looking for a proper AI company. We can totally help you what questions to ask for and stuff like that. Of course, we can help you, right? But also if you're looking for what you're looking for, just DM us and ask us on, Aid Media Now Instagram, or on our website. You can literally ask us how to look for a company. We'd be glad to help you.
Yeah,
So,
at Aid Media Now on Facebook, at Aid Media Now on YouTube, at Aid Media Now on TikTok, at Aid Media
Aid
Now
Media
on
Now everywhere.
Instagram.
Yep.
Like, follow, subscribe, send
Uh,
us a DM,
so
say, hey, I like what you guys talk about. I like what you're posting. I like your crazy AI posts and pictures,
they're silly.
and we will respond.
Yeah.
That's one thing that we pride ourselves on is responding to everybody and,
So
fulfilling their needs, helping. Even if we just guide you and educate you, and we're going to give you some kind of value so that even if you don't go with us and you go, you're going to be that much more educated and you're going to know what to look for. And then you're going to call us back and say, hey guys, let's roll.
let's roll, baby. Let's roll. So
Because you guys seem to know what you're talking about there, out there in this industry.
I love it. Aid Media Now everywhere. Like I said, DM us, hit us up, and yeah, we can definitely help you out into knowing what to look for in an AI company. So,
And
thanks,
if you want
guys.
to learn how to start your own company, hit us up.
We can do
We'll
that too.
guide you
We
there.
can
We
do
do
that too.
education on that as well. So,
Thanks, guys. We'll hit you guys back up. We'll be back on
peace.
Tuesday. Peace out.
Later, social media.